Now, this is really great things for us to do first, because if we find one of these things we haven't covered, this is where we start the conversation, where we have this conversation going, hey, I wanted to check in because I realized that I probably wasn't clear with the expectation. I probably wasn't clear of the time frame. You can see how that's a much easier conversation for you to have than, Jack, you are not performing in your role. So we check in. And that's a conversation you can have around the expectations or the procedures, or looking at, checking in. And even that conversation, if you get to, actually, I haven't checked in with them very much. Great. So now you can say, absolutely, let's sit down. I've realized that I really want to check in with you more regularly, that sometimes I feel I haven't supported you to get to the end goal. Now you can see how this is a great, easy conversation for the team member to hear, right? It's not this, we haven't went straight to this performance management conversation. So I want you to have a look at those three things and then have the conversations. Now, let's say we've been really super clear with the expectations. We've got a procedure that they can follow, and we've been checking in, and they're just not getting there. Now it's getting to the root cause of why, and we want to get curious. This is where we want to start the conversations. And every time I talk about performance management, the first question I ask every leader and business owner to ask their team member is, how are you doing? How are you going in your role? To really check in with what's happening for them, because we want to hear what's going on and if there are any blocks for them. Then it's about finding out what's actually went on. So we're going to ask about the specific task and tell me what happened. How did you feel with doing that task? How do you feel that you moved through it? Was there any confusion? Was there any concern? So you can see I'm asking lots and lots of questions. So many times business owners and leaders go into these conversations ready to tell that person you're not performing, instead of finding out what's actually going on. Now, depending on how the team member responds, they might say, right? And we know there's an attitude issue. They might say, look, I was really confused about these things, or I didn't know, or I didn't understand. And you can see how that opens up different lines of possible solutions for us. Now, if the team member didn't understand, we can clarify. We can look at, and I want you to think about, what are the possible solutions when you know more? How can you then go and fix it?